Listen, fam, this is very important because we have been conditioned to not appreciate and value darkness. Because every time you see movies, people always want to talk about dark is bad, dark is evil, and I like this and I like that. The light is a lie. Once you realize that, you can waking up to the truth that the light is a lie. As I explained to you, before you can say light, you're going to say lie before you can get to finishing the GH, which is silent, with ends on the T, which in essence say lie. So don't get it contorted and twisted. Appreciate and value the darkness. Spend time in the dark. You understand that you have your polarities. You spend time with your shadow side all the time because you always have a shadow. When the sun is up, there's always the shadow that follows you. This is important because when you go to sleep, you don't open your eyes and start falling asleep. You close your eyes to the dark. You close your eyes to appreciate darkness. Listen, you close your eyes to be relaxed by the dark, the night, the black. Start spending time alone in the dark, in the night. Start developing your relationship with or in the night. This is important because anytime that you fail to allow yourself to appreciate, value, and be in unison with your other side, guess what's gonna happen? You start to fear it, and it starts to take control over you. And because you fear that which you don't want to acknowledge is not harmful to you, or better yet, it is a part of you, it works with you. You can't have one without the other. You was created in darkness. You was created in dark. So why is you afraid of the dark? Forget all those misconceptions. You see a black cat, feed it, pick it up, take it on. This is how important the dark side is. Because it's even identified, even in Star Wars, the dark side, the Jedi, it is to identify with dark matter. Because the dark matter, even when you say dark matter, you in essence saying dark matter. Y'all wearing white all the time as if you don't understand the power of black. Because you've been conditioned to miss it. You always think angels is white. Because you was taught this and you can't look outside of that because that's what you was taught. Like a horse, riding. You can't see no other way because like your ancestors, our ancestors were slaved and enslaved to believe only one thing, angels. And white is this. I want a white house, a white picket fence. You was brainwashed. But you don't understand the power of being acceptance of how powerful triple darkness is. You see, if you remember watching Lovecraft, understand the power in that, you might want to go back and start back watching it. Because the power of the sunset, the sunset is two within one. You got the sun and you got set. was talking about the sunset. He told him in Sundown Town, he said, well, the sun go down at 7:09, right? And Atticus says, well, I think he said it's 7:05 or something like that. That 4 again. But this is how powerful sunset is.
The reason why this is important, Atticus is going to say it's not sundown yet. The officer is going to say sunset at 7:09. He going to say that's 7 minutes from now. 7 minutes from now. Hold on to 7. Atticus is going to say that we'll be out at 6. So it's code talk is 7 and 6. 7 being a sacred number, but it's code talking, just like his father also using gestures and things of this here nature to identify with him being a part of the brotherhood. But this officer is obviously not acknowledging that he's a Freemasonic Mason. He's letting it be known. Anywho, so he gonna say 7, Atticus is gonna say 6, and 7 is 6 is 7 plus 6 is 13, and 1 and 3 is 4. Double that 4 again.
The duality of 2 being 1. Atticus represents the sun energy. Atticus represent the dark matter, the duality and the connection of the 2. You see, when you give value to that which is really a connection to you and not be afraid of it, it can protect you, because you're not giving no offerings to anything that is so-called as being black is bad, black is evil. No, you acknowledge it. This is it is life. It is a part of who I am. It is part of who we are. Atticus was in the dark, but he's really the light. Understand this. When the police at 7:09, when they crossed over to the other town, right when the power 4 again, when he crossed over, it was 4 officers waiting on him. When Atticus was laid down on the ground, and he pretty much was gone 86 them, what happened? Out of nowhere, in the dark, in the night, Atticus was protected, is protected. A lot of us, you have protection. You have forces that you're not even aware of that's with you and around you, because you was taught to believe that white and light is good, that anything dark is bad, because you was hit upside your head. Television, cartoon, everything talk about dark is bad, black is evil. But you got to become a black belt in order to be fully knowledgeable of martial arts, to show that you reach that degree. Judges wear black to identify, which goes back to Saturn, which represent authority. Police is in black. Their billy clubs is in black. Your powerful guns is black. Witches wear black. Y'all just not knowing. So, my tribe, understand this here. If you understand that when you wear black, it attracts. You don't wear white, don't attract nothing. Wearing white don't attract anything. They get dirty a lot faster. But I'm talking about when you're doing this occult work, the best thing to be is sky clad. But start spending time, TV off, everything off, lights off, phone away from you. And don't close your eyes, keep your eyes open. Stop being afraid of what you was taught in the dark. Start embracing it. Start speaking, start talking, start acknowledging, acknowledge that fear that instinctively that been placed in you when you feel like something is next to you, something is whispering to you. This is the ancient ones helping you to understand different realms. A more robust realm a being that's in the a family of ours that's in the night. If you know, you know. Come on. This is how powerful darkness is. You understand that Jesus was said to have died and went to hell for 3 days. 3 is a powerful number. You see, there is a tradition in the historical Christianity that claims that Jesus descended into hell during the 3 days. He was in the grave. The Apostle Creed says that Jesus was crucified, died, and buried, and descended into hell. The 3rd day he arose again from the dead. Right? So what did that tell you about even Jesus being in dark matter, or it's identifying with Jesus being aware or conscious and tackling and conquering his dark side, the dark element. You see? So this is important that you have to understand that you can't be afraid of the dark. You can't be thinking that white clothes and white is purity. On the contrary, it's not. That's the doctrine image that they place in our head when they made people of melanated descent worship a Caucasian image of a Jesus as they depicted. White, Caucasian, pale, blue eyes. I'm not lying, I'm not making this up. I can't make this up. So this is why you had to get out of that concept and thinking dark is bad. What goes to show you that the Old Testament God in the Bible, who made the agreement that those who called themselves at that time Jews, right, was to worship Yahweh. That the God of the Old Testament was a raw dog killer. Yeah. Remember, go back to my story time and I'm breaking it down to you that the God of the Old Testament killed more people than the devil. And in the Old Testament, there was no devil. There was just a God, that y'all want to call it, that killed when he wanted to kill. Murdered nations because they weren't worshiping. And what identified with this more, as I broke that down to you in ontology, when I broke down to you that when you see your enemies or the so-called bad people that's identified with being evil and bad in the Bible, they show certain letters to identify the colors, which caps it off. That when you watch and see, you will notice that the Testament shows what it shows. It shows, can't make this up, the letters of the God to identify that the Old Testament, that being was, as y'all want to call it, evil. Even the letters identify with it. In the Bible, the letters of that source is red and black. When God spoke, or Yahweh or God, whichever one y'all want to call it, spoke.
Trinity identify God and Jesus and the Spirit are one. So when Jesus spoke, God spoke, and the three supposed to be as one.
It was red. One person's God is another person's devil. One person's devil is another person's God. Bobby Hemming used to say, one of my teachers, as well as good teachers like
Dr. Phil Valentine.
I mean, and many of them. But the truth of the matter is, there have to be actual factual. You see? Because if you understand that we might call the devil bad, and other people belief system identify what the devil say y'all want to call him is their Lord and Savior, or their God. Now, I'm only breaking down the signs on how I see it. Whatever your belief system is, more power to it. But it is what it is, and the signs don't lie.